Alright, here we go. I'm John Renton with my review of Dark Side of the Ring, The Ultraviolence of Nick Gage. I want to say right now, before I dive too far into the review, I'm not going to make fun of the fact that he's a recovering addict, because addiction is a terrible thing. Substance abuse, it dominates a lot of people's lives, whether in wrestling or otherwise. I've known many friends and family members that have dealt with that, and some that continue to deal with that. And I want to say that if any of you are dealing with that, or have family members that are dealing with this, and you want to talk to somebody, I'm not a crisis counselor, I'm just a crazy wrestling and movie fan. But you don't have to comment if you don't want to. Find me on Twitter. I put my Twitter handle in the description, and feel free to reach out and talk to me. And there are other people out there that want to talk to you. And if you are recovering from substance abuse, you've gotten this far, you've overcome your demons, you're going to continue to overcome your demons, you're going to continue to stay clean, push forward, and you're going to continue to live a good life, and your demons do not define you. Now, that's a PSA right there. I hope that Nick Gage can continue to stay clean, live happy with his girlfriend. It's terrible that he lost his parents and his brother. Terrible, cancer's a bitch. Mental health issues are a goddamn bitch. And so I do hope that Nick Gage can continue to live clean and live with his girlfriend and everything, and they can continue to be happy. Now, that PSA is out of the way. If you are a fan of deathmatch wrestling, you are going to want to turn this off right now, because I'm not going to be kind from here on, and I'll tell you why. I fucking hate deathmatch wrestling. I'm just going to call it garbage. Death garbage. In fact, that's just what I'll fucking call it. Because here's the thing. Whether it was in Japan, FMW, or all that, all that other spin-off shit, XPW, or the stuff in Puerto Rico and that kind of crap and everything, it's all garbage. It's all goddamn shit. And here's the thing. Many talented wrestlers have participated in it. I don't goddamn know why, because it's fucking horseshit, and I fucking hate deathmatch garbage. But fucking goddamn hell. Watching this episode angered me. Now, again, Nick Gage, I hope, stays clean. But as far as the concept of death garbage, it's fucking horseshit. We start off with footage of light tubes, glass, and chairs, and all this shit being broken, and people cheering, 25 people. And if you're a fan of deathmatch wrestling, by the way, good. I hope you get some enjoyment out of it. I really fucking hope you do. Because I've never understood why it had any goddamn appeal. I really don't fucking get it. It's like watching torture porn horror movies, and those aren't even all that good. It's like watching Hostel and shit like that, and it's really fucking bad. I love what I do, and I'm the best motherfucker doing it today, says Nick Gage. I'm not saying that Gage is an engaging guy, if you will, but I will say, as far as issues he's overcome, hey, he's managed to stay clean, so far with his stints in jail and the issues he's had, so I tip my hat to him there. I will tip my hat to him. These are not things meant for the human body, death match wrestling, death garbage as it is. This is not a children's TV show on Saturday morning. When that bell rings, it's real to Nick Gage, says Moxley. This is going to be a fight. Moxley, for all the money he's made in wrestling and for all the stuff he's done and everything, if he likes doing this, fine. I don't fucking get it, especially given the fact that he still wants to, do this kind of hardcore stuff, and he's got a kid on the way, but this is, of course, referencing stuff from the past that he had with Gage. Blood Will Be Spilled, footage of the Arquette match, how his biggest battles will happen outside the ring, pile driver through the window. That's not wrestling. It's not fucking wrestling at all, and how dare anybody say that that's wrestling. I just can't fucking understand it. Deathmatch Wrestling is a live-action horror movie. One found at the bottom of the Walmart bin, the $5 Walmart bin, and maybe not even that good. It's like the $1.50 movies that fucking the Asylum won't even goddamn touch. Even, the people that created the Sharknado movies are like, no, that's a bit too much. That's fucking unrealistic. That's fucking garbage. Why would we touch that? Let's go make knockoffs of Pacific Rim just to cash in on that. Or let's have, I don't know, a polar bear tornado. The polar vortex, if you will. So, of course, it was popularized in Japan, other areas and stuff like that. You gotta love this shit, and guess what? That shit hurts. You fucking think. They're inanimate objects. They don't cooperate because they don't have goddamn feelings or light tubes and all that shit. You think they would fucking hurt? What the fuck? Why would anybody say, oh yeah, that shit hurts? You don't have to fucking tell us that. Everybody who participates in this stuff and says, oh yeah, we're going to do this, sorry, you kind of are a bit of a fucking idiot for doing this. I'm just saying, if you don't have the talent to get into wrestling, don't do deathmatch wrestling. Deathmatch wrestling needs to die a fucking death. It should have never been created in the first place. And I would say ECW popularized it, but I mean, I guess for the mainstream masses, they sort of did. For you personally, White Deathmatch Wrestling, probably a little crazy in the head. My pain tolerance is high. I want to show that this kind of wrestling is all right, and there's a fan base for it. Sure, there's a fan base for a lot of things. That doesn't mean it's any fucking good. Some deathmatch wrestlers are the best, storytellers in the world at connecting with the audience. Yeah, because the audience is a little bit fucked up in the head. I'm not being kind here, if you can't tell. That's Moxley saying that. Mox and Gage have a history. Mox feels at home with deathmatch wrestling. The Tournament of Death. It's like a really bad Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. First one-on-one match, he pulls out a pizza cutter and he cut my tongue out. The fact that Moxley somehow has managed to achieve mainstream success in wrestling, despite participating in that stuff, is fucking mind-blowing. And I still appreciate what Moxley can do, because Moxley can work. I just don't understand why he does this shit. And I don't care about the money, the star power. I do this for the feeling. It's like the Woodstock for deathmatch wrestling, the Tournament of Death that's taking place in the field, because no building would fucking green like this shit. And then Brett Lardale, promoter of Game Changer Wrestling, the people that booked that match, Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan. So that guy can get the fucking bin as far as being a wrestling promoter. And I don't fucking care if anybody, gets upset about that, because you can book some really good talent, but if you're booking invisible people against each other, no, that's fucking shit. That ain't fucking wrestling. There's comedy. That ain't fucking wrestling. And they're the home of deathmatch wrestling now. Yeah, good. Okay, great. Congratulations. You draw maybe 50 people to a goddamn, little barn. Bless you if you like this shit. Anyway, he's, been with it all. He's been with Cage through it all and everything, from CZW, footage of the Tournament of Death 2009. He took on a guy named Thumbtack Jack from Germany. 200 vertical light tube match. Yeah, because that's fucking wrestling. Yeah, I don't fucking care if I piss people off with this shit. And I watched this with an open mind, and I actually had to come back to it the next day. Because I was like, okay, I'm going to come back when I'm less tired. And it just made me more angry. I didn't mind the story behind it, but it's like watching that footage, I was like, how can anybody support this shit? Complete pit of glass. He got it sliced some of his arteries on the side because the tube went up like this and everything. It didn't break properly. It's an inanimate object. Does nobody fucking realize that with a light tube? Tape that shit up. I'm going to go out there. Get this on camera, smart Mark. Okay. I'm not saying I get out and do this stuff or whatever, but I'm also not going to go out there and hit myself repeatedly in the head with chairs and give my body up to throwing myself into glass and everything, because the human body isn't meant to get into glass, you fucking idiots. Oh, and they had to get a helicopter instead of an ambulance and everything. Sure, that blew the goddamn budget of that show. Lost too much blood. He was legally dead for 7 minutes. You're not supposed to die at the tournament. It's a figure of speech, but it cemented Nick Gage as a folk hero. People like it, that's fine. You can like that all you want. For the kind of thing those people like, or for the people who like that thing, that's the kind of thing those people like. Probably a boost to his character, and then he thought he was going to die, and then he grew up in National Park, New Jersey. He was raised by a single mom. Parents had separated. Sandra's girlfriend, I swear to God, she was meth head olive oil. Mother died of breast cancer, and cancer's a goddamn bitch, and he's done the cancer walk, and you know what? Good on him. His mother meant a lot to him. Dad was a wrestling fan. His dad also died. I don't know what his dad died of. I kind of missed that. Hardcore backyard wrestling. More fucking bullshit. Putting barbed wire from, a fence on a goddamn trampoline and bouncing off of it. That ain't fucking wrestling. Japanese deathmatch wrestling with Terry Funk and Cactus Jack. Which, the fact they participated in that, at least they had the talent, but they were fucking nuts for it. ECW is why I love doing this shit today. ECW is just mad. A new generation that's tough. A new generation came along that was tougher and crazier. No, not tougher and crazier. You guys just didn't have the talent to fucking do anything else. And Zandig, that shitbag, read up a story about how the producers went to Zandig's house and he had a whole bunch of Trump shit and everything and got all upset because they were 10 minutes late going to his house. So I'm glad they didn't interview him. And that guy is a fucking goddamn idiot. And the fact that he's considered a deathmatch legend, well, you know what? Good. It's good that you're fucking considered a deathmatch legend. I don't goddamn care because that guy's a shitbag also, and the guy's a goddamn idiot. Maybe proof that hitting yourself in the head repeatedly with a whole bunch of crap maybe isn't gonna be good for your psyche, or you're just fucked up in the head, and that's why you do that shit. So he did get hooked on prescription pills. It got to the point where he had a match with his brother and he wasn't on his game. Got a dislocated shoulder. The death of his parents had him hit rock bottom, and look, that can affect somebody. That really can affect somebody. He was kicked out of his girlfriend's house. They were living on the street. He was kicked out of Brett's house because they had snuck into his house to basically sleep somewhere because it was really cold. He decided to rob a bank. Brett, did you just rob a bank? Mox was like, I get an email. Man, it's Nick, clear as day. And then he goes to jail for a while after going to Atlantic City to spend the winnings. 8 or 9 days later, he goes. Brett picks him up, takes him to Burger King, and basically puts him, or he turns himself in and goes away for 4.5 goddamn years. He's released on March 31st, 2015, which I believe is the day of WrestleMania, or the day after WrestleMania. I'm not totally sure. So anyway, brother didn't want to visit him. Nick started getting a whole bunch of fan mail, and then he ended up going back to prison for trying to falsify a, piss test. Many people have done that. I'm not excusing it, but oh well. Anyway, then GCW grows, to having 75 people in a fucking barn. And then his fans all over the world talks about the match with Arquette, and, I was in over my head. He wanted to basically justify or, kind of, fix what happened with WCW because he won the world title. He didn't want to. I'm not blaming David Arquette. You can check out my review if you cannot kill David Arquette if you won. And his brother died. The stuff with Arquette. I mean, Arquette was in over his head, and it was what it was. Light tube to the neck, but no, he had a little cut, but he was fine. Yeah, Nick. Okay, sure. All right. Whatever. And then he jumped. His brother, unfortunately, to jump off the bridge. He had various issues that piled up, and that's never the answer. It's just terrible. He felt that was the only answer. He sees the bridge every time he leaves his house, so that's a reminder. He says a little prayer for him. I'd rather die a good way than a bad way. Vince McMahon would kill to have one guy that could connect with the crowd like Nick Gage does. Again, I wish Nick Gage nothing but happiness, and I hope that he can recover, and can continue to be clean and everything and live happy with his girlfriend. This is for Deathmatch Wrestling. I'm going to review the XPW and FMW stuff when it comes up, but this is all I gotta fucking say about Deathmatch Wrestling, and fuck the fact that it was ever goddamn created at. Fuck it, I'm not even going to go through the effort of throwing it in the air. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.